All right, so now you know she's done. I had mentioned before that if I found another tank, because this tank, it's old. See how dark green this is? This is really old compared to all the rest of the plastics. My efforts paid off again after 2.5 years of searching. I found a stock tank on eBay. This tank is actually in better shape than my tank now. I don't feel like swapping it right now. I'm keeping it, right, in case I have a catastrophe with that one. And these are all the spare parts that I've collected over the years. Of course, these are the first set of plastics that came off and I put the sticker kit on it. This one I bought a year ago and it's been sitting wrapped in some paper and I forgot about it. It was up on my shelf, but look at this. This is OEM factory plastic with the decal and everything. This thing is awesome. Look at that funky 80s day glow design. I just love that. These came with the tank. They didn't even tell me this. And somebody had spray painted them their own awesome little color. It looks to me like maybe they're blue. Maybe originally. I have an extra engine guard there I haven't used. I have an extra green fender, an extra white fender, which I don't know why I have. I told you I hate white fenders. I have an extra set of fork protectors that came off it originally. And then I have 2 sets of side panels. These are the original ones. When I dropped it off the back of my little SUV, it got all scraped up on the highway. I saved those. And then here's some brand new ones that I have saved as well. And then I have a box of goodies, hoses, clamps, of extra stuff. So this is all the extra stuff I have for that bike. So it's about time I get on with this test. So let's go have some fun. Afternoon, everybody. After just being super busy, as you always hear me say, I'm finally going to take this bike out to ride for the first time off my property since getting it all back together. And there's a couple things I'm a little concerned about. I talked about this in a previous video, how the chain is really close to these knobbies right here. So I'm just going to go cruise around, take it real easy. That's my only real concern. Topped off the coolant, made sure that was focused. You know, I drained that, and I checked the air pressure in the tires, oil level. So the sun's going to set in about an hour, and I just happen to have a little free time right now after being super busy. So I wasn't filming it, but that thing started on the first kick with the choke on. First kick. always do that. See if I can see my house. Okay, I can't see my house, but I can see my backyard neighbor and my backyard diagonal neighbor. I hear some people coming. If you guys remember one of the last videos where I just got the carb done, I was coming up this gnarly hill, this ridge that I wasn't prepared to climb. And I think those rocks over there, try to pinpoint it when I make this video, I think that's the top of that ridge. So I'm gonna go down that ridge. But I came up, you know, west of my house, and I stopped for a minute at that one hill climb and I looked at it, and on that ride, I actually went that way first. And I got to that hill climb and I was like, man, it's dark, it's getting dark. There's nobody here, I'm not gonna go for that. So of course it's a lot easier than I thought. And I went for it and made it. And then all these other gnarly ones, first gear. It did rain, but that's already gone. It's back to dust. So you heard me just spinning up all that stuff. And it's a lot steeper than it looks in the video, always. This trail, these trails go all the way up into the area that we went with my Razor. The Razor doesn't go on this trail. You saw we went through a two-wheel gate, which is a little sketchy, but there's all kinds of trails leading out of here, but I'm gonna go back down that ridge. So there she is. So, all right, this is the first ride, right? Since it was all done. First thing I noticed is the brakes suck. Now, maybe the rotors need to break in. Like, I'm grabbing brakes and there's nothing. And I just double checked, and the wheels lock up. So the brakes are working. I see people coming up here. But, so my first impression is the brakes suck. Hopefully they break in. My second impression is that the front wheel feels like it wants to fall over. I only have 11 pounds of air. That's the lowest I've ever run. This is supposed to be a sand tire. I'm gonna give it some time to break in. And that's my initial impression. Brakes suck, front tire wants to fall. And I'm looking for power still. We're at 3,600 feet. Up here, I'm probably at 4,000 feet. Of course, it's down, gonna be down like 20% at this level. And I'm fat, I'm 240 with gear. So third impression is I'm looking for power still. I have a dream, you know, I've had a dream since I bought this bike. And I've been doing some research the past couple years. This right here is my dream bike. This Beta 500. So I think that guy's on a quad. No. Anyway, that's my first impression. It seems like the chain cleared fine. Yeah, it's wearing. I can see the edge here. When it hits the chain, it is wearing it a little bit. I'm getting some liquid. What is that from? That might be overflow because I topped off the radiator. So we'll have to, yeah, the overflow's right behind there. So that's gotta be radiator. Let's see what these guys are doing coming up here. Coming up this big gnarly hill right now. Actually, they crossed over the valley. I came up this way. They're going up that way. This must be the trail. Yeah, that goes back down. That's me over there. Just doing some exploring. Yeah, we're up in mountain lion country. Big bobcat country up here. It's a little sketchy. Oh, they're coming up. I hear them. I don't know if he saw me because the sun was in his eyes. He's going for that big hill climb. Or not. Is he? Yeah. Thanks for showing me how to do that for next time, because I'm tired. So he's got a 450. Yeah, no regrets, you know, no regrets building this antique 365 trail bike, but it's street legal. As far as the suspension goes, feels really good. It's working great. Ergonomics feel perfect. Oh, I don't even have a battery in there. Shoot, I was gonna put a battery in to test the light. That means I really gotta get back here. So I'm gonna head back down that way and go home. And if I make it, we'll call it a day. But just take a listen. Other than my out of shapeness, it's so beautiful up here, so quiet. Now we're expecting 65-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, Tuesday. So, but lots of rain and snow, which will make this ground much better to ride sooner. See if I can get my bro down here with this KTM. All right, I'm gonna head back. That guy's riding all by himself. That's dangerous. Should never do that. Yeah, this is that hill, so yeah, I don't want to ever come up this. I'm getting too old for this kind of crazy crap. If you hear that squeak, I was worried that was in the motor. That's why I shut the motor off. It's the front wheel, so that's good. Yep, I'll take another one. This would kill me coming up this thing again. And it feels like the front end just wants to dive. I have the fork tubes popped up like 5 millimeters, and that's just something I used to do on all my cowies on my 252 strokes. Maybe I have them too far up on this short wheelbase bike. I wasn't tired. Tired now. Well, I'll tell you what. After a nice ride like that, hopping in this bad boy is gonna feel good. So let's just do that. Whew. It's probably 36 out here. Whew. About 102 in the spa. Oh, man. Got our Christmas tree up in there. All right, well, good night, town of Apple Valley. See if I can get some more riding and more testing in on this bike.